Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and a warm welcome to all. We are gathered here this evening to celebrate the Silver Jubilee Charter Night of the Rotary Club of Madras, Besant, Nagar. We would like to take you through an audio-visual presentation that highlights the formation and consolidation of the club, the bonding and camaraderie between the club members, the various service projects that have been executed by the club, and many other interesting facets about the club. The seed for the formation of the new club was sown by the then District 3230 Governor, Rotarian P.T. Prabhakar, way back in 1996. A group of members from the Rotary Club of Madras Marina were thinking of forming a separate club, and Rotarian P.S. Sridharan from the Rotary Club of Madras Uptown was appointed by the district governor as the governor's special representative to monitor, oversee and ensure that the new club is formed following all Rotary protocols. The initial activity involved writing of constitution and bylaws of the new club. And also identifying a place, day and time of the meeting. The first meeting of the club was held sometime in the fourth quarter of 1996 at Savera Hotel. This was followed by a couple of meetings at Gandhinagar Social Club, resorts, etc. It was then decided that the club will meet at 7 p.m. every Wednesday in the humble surroundings of a classroom inside St. Patrick's School, Gandhinagar, Adayar, in order to reduce the recurring weekly expenses of the club meetings. We are glad to say that this tradition continues even today. The club started with 40-odd members. We had an impressive set of classification of advocates, doctors, engineers, marketing professionals, chartered accountants and academicians and so on. Rotarian Kicha Natation was the charter president of the club, and he was ably assisted by Rotarian C.V. Subramanian as the charter secretary of the club. The charter was presented to the club in a glittering ceremony in Adayar Gate Hotel on 9th April 1997, and today marks the silver jubilee of that occasion. The first 5 years was a struggle in consolidating the club's activities. Subsequently, we could see the club stabilizing and enabling us to focus more on projects. We were able to start identifying projects in all the avenues of service as outlined by Rotary International. The charter members who are still continuing with us are Rotarians V.C. Krishnan, R. Ramakrishnan, V.N. Krishnan, K. Suresh and K. Prakash.
We will now take you through the activities of the club in the decade that followed the first 5 years. The founder members, some of whom are active till date, have built in values of friendship and bonding without compromising Rotary's goals as enshrined in the 4-way test. This paved the way for weekly fellowships after every meeting, and we are proud that not a single weekly meeting has been cancelled till date. This has also ensured that the club's ethos have been preserved so far. Our project activities started with health screening and awareness camps, blood donation camps, provision of drinking water to school students, hunger alleviation, etc. The club also received its first matching grant for a rainwater harvesting project, about which we will talk a little later. Members' participation in the project was heartwarming. Monthly family get-togethers were organized wherein Rotarians got to know each other, thereby strengthening the bond between the club members and their families. Visits to other members' residences during family functions or religious festivals further strengthened this bonding. Also, a very good number of club members participated together in district events like district conference, district assembly, and district seminars. Simultaneously, the focus on TRF contribution increased during this period.
We will now outline the club's activities during the second decade. Family outings were organized outside Chennai, wherein 10 or more members participated along with their families. We were fortunate that we could identify like-minded new members. And today, we have stabilized at a membership strength of about 25. A communication channel was established apart from personal meetings by initiating an in-house bulletin called The Creek. Although this was initiated much earlier, it got streamlined during this decade. It's interesting to know that the name of the bulletin was selected on the basis of the proximity of club's meeting place to Adayar Creek. Similarly, the club's logo, that is deer, was selected since we were in proximity to the deer park in the IIT campus. We acknowledge the contributions from Rotarian V. Ravi in deciding the name of the magazine, design of the club's logo, and also finalizing the meeting venue at St. Patrick's School. Simultaneously, the club continued with projects under all avenues of service. Donation of mobility aids, waste management, etc. were added to our project portfolio. Apart from general health checkup, eye screening, dermatology, diabetes screening, gynecology, dental screening, and also geriatrics were added under community health service. The club also took advantage of the current trend of social media with our presence in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We also created our own website. During this period, the club made efforts to bring in substantial CSR funds that helps support institutions like Cancer Institute and district projects like Project Orange. This decade also saw the club receiving its first global grant of $35,000 for a rainwater harvesting project. Many members became Paul Harris Fellows during this period. We are happy to inform you that currently 80% of our club members are Paul Harris Fellows, and one member, Rotarian Arun Kumar, is a member of Paul Harris Society. The club coped with the pandemic by switching over to virtual meetings every week. Apart from this, we found an opportunity to serve the community by providing PPE kits, masks, etc. to frontline workers and also participating in vaccination camps. The club bagged a flurry of awards during this period, culminating in 18 awards in the preceding year 2020-21. As part of international service, members participate in club meetings abroad when they visit other countries. This has resulted in forming alliances with other clubs, facilitating global grants. It is heartening to note on the administrative front, the club has never defaulted in the payment of mandatory dues to RI, district and news trust. In addition, the documentation, record keeping and reporting have been immaculate as acknowledged by various governors during their official visits to the club. At this juncture, we would like to acknowledge the historian of our club, Rotarian K.V. Krishnan, for archiving all events and photographs. The second decade also saw the formation of an Interact Club at St. Patrick's School. In addition, a new club, Rotary Club of Chennai Shakti, was also sponsored this year.
Having talked at length about the formation and consolidation of the club, we will now take you through some of the salient projects of the club. Foremost among these is our continuous project involving donation of mobility aids. A need felt in the community to support persons with physical disability which restricted their daily functioning was uppermost in our minds when we decided to take up a project on the distribution of mobility aids to the needy. Since the support gives hope to these persons towards leading a better life, the project was named as Project Hope. The project was undertaken by the club in collaboration with Andhra Orthotics Center. The project has been adopted by the club as a flagship project that envisages providing hope to those with mobility issues. This project was started way back in Rotary year 2003-04. It was a thrust project of the RI district during that year under the leadership of past district governor SVRM Ramanathan. In the initial stages, it was being executed in bits and pieces, donating just 6 to 8 artificial limbs in a year. Since all members felt the need to ramp up the number of beneficiaries, the club decided to adopt this as a sterling project that could run on a continuous basis. 2 institutions were selected as partners for continuous implementation of this project. Maduram Narayanan Center for Exceptional Children, located in Chennai, and Thirumalai Charitable Trust, located in Ranipet, are the 2 partners. Apart from this, the club continues to work with Andhra Orthotics Center in identifying deserving beneficiaries as recipients of mobility aids. Total number of beneficiaries in this project would be approximately 500 till date. It is to be mentioned here that the district has been supporting us with grants whenever possible to execute these projects. Water is a lifeline of all living organisms. We have been doing projects in water conservation and water harvesting for the last 20 years or so. Water conservation projects was initiated by past President Rotarian Sultan Ahmad Ismail. During his tenure as the president, as well as in subsequent years, he helped members from within the club as well as other Rotarians from the district to implement grey water recycling in their residential premises. In the year 2010, we provided a borewell to a government high school at Kumiri. This project was done with a district grant. Subsequently, we also identified the need to provide drinking water to the inmates of a children's home at Kadapakam, about 100 kilometers away from the city. This project, executed with a matching grant from the Rotary Foundation, provided for installation of water tanks to store rainwater during the rainy season and supply of treated water to the inmates of the home. The capacity of these tanks was 50,000 liters. 2 years ago, it was identified that this storage capacity needs to be augmented to 100,000 liters. Accordingly, we applied for a global grant and received $35,000. This project is now complete, pending handover to the beneficiary.
I am showing you the stretch between the old child's dormitory and the old manager's room. This is on the this is the downpipe from the gutter because of the recent rains during the weekend. There is this inspection chamber. You can see that there is water. It is stagnating because there is no flow, because end of the pipe on the western side, and there is a 90 degree bend. This is the down pipe from the wash area and this pipe joins this pipe. This is the inspection chamber where you can see a lot of water collected here because it's almost at the end of the pipe. This time, I mean the stretch, just behind the wash area. There is a down pipe which leads to this main pipe here. That is inside the storage shed, existing storage shed, and there it takes a 90-degree bend. Storage shed area. Second inspection chamber, which you saw earlier, and here also you can see the water stagnating. This is all rainwater which is collected here.
We have also provided water coolers, RO filters, etc. to St. Patrick's School and the Government High School at Komidi. Women Empowerment under Project Selvi. Montfort Community Development Society, an NGO involved with empowerment of women as one of their objectives, in partnership with our club, started a tailoring unit in Nagar in the year 2007 for empowering young women through vocational skill training. The unit started with 4 tailoring machines and focused on development of tailoring skills to women from rural background. A total of 300 women benefited from this program at an outlay of rupees 250,000. In addition, we also donated rupees 25,000 towards skill development in block printing technology to women with a goal to make them earn a living on their own. Conducting health awareness and health screening camps has been a feature of the club every year. Such camps have been held in areas populated with people from the lower strata of society who do not have ready access to good and affordable health care. Apart from this, various other community service projects have also been undertaken by the club. We have strived to ensure the projects are not limited to one avenue of service alone. Various projects have been undertaken in the avenues of club service, youth service, and vocational service. The club recognizes at least one individual from the community who has excelled in his or her own chosen field of profession. Environment protection has been close to our hearts since the inception of the club. Educational assistance to deserving and needy students has also been a continuous project throughout the history of this club. Schools into Smiles. The club identified Government High School Komidi, a backward area in the outskirts of Chennai. It was brought to our notice that girl students were dropping out due to lack of adequate toilet facilities. Under Schools into Smiles project, we constructed an exclusive toilet for girl students. To ensure continuous water supply for this toilet, we also provided them with a borewell and an overhead tank in the school premises.
We take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the support and contribution extended by various individuals and institutions towards implementation of our projects. We also profusely thank the Rotary Foundation, RI District 3230 and 3232 for their guidance and support to execute the projects. A special mention needs to be made about St. Patrick's School, who provide us with a classroom to conduct our weekly meetings. Before we conclude, we would like to mention the Charter Night brings memories of a cherished member of our club, whom we miss a lot. Rotarian Vishwanathan, fondly called Vichu, an amazing personality who exhibited unstinted friendship, philanthropy, and love towards all. His magnanimity knew no boundaries. Only those who have experienced this will know what I am referring to. Most of us would like to spend our wedding anniversaries with our families, whereas Vichu and Anne Banu spend that evening with all of us since it falls on April 9, our charter night. He also used to sponsor the entire expenses for the evening. Hence, in the fitness of things, we dedicate this charter night to Rotarian Vishwanathan and Anne Banu and his family.